Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is an A2 level grammar lesson and we're continuing our discussion of present continuous. This time we'll be talking about present continuous in both the negative and the contracted forms. Alright, so just as a little review of present continuous, you can match the pictures to the sentences. The boy is riding a bike. That's picture A. Toby is entering the classroom, picture C, and Jane is cleaning the window, picture B. Again, here's just some review. Present continuous is the structure is subject plus am, is, or are plus the ing form of the verb. So I am singing, you are reading, he is painting, she is watching, it is snowing, we are coming, they are leaving. Now we're going to match these pictures to the sentences. Stephen is not playing football. We have the X through the playing football, which means not. Melissa is not making a cake. And Rebecca is not working. So to form the present continuous negative, you simply add not after the to be verb and before the ing verb. So I am not smiling, you are not crying, he is not reading, she is not coming, it is not snowing, we are not driving, they are not behaving. So now practice forming some present continuous negative sentences using the verbs here in the box. And don't forget your spelling rules for forming the ing form of the verb. First one is done for you. You are not listening to me. Go ahead and write your answers to the rest of these and then restart the video when you're ready to check. Okay, so David is not riding his bike. Helen and Jane are not drinking coffee. And Tristan is not reading his book. I am not watching television. He is not listening to classical music. It's rock music. They are not walking. They are running. And he is not eating chicken. He is eating pasta. Now, take these positive sentences and change them into negative sentences. You can pause the video, do that on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. The first one is done for you. We are having dinner becomes we are not having dinner. Okay, Florence is speaking to her mother on the phone would become Florence is not speaking to her mother on the phone. The phone is ringing. The phone is not ringing. Her dog is barking at the neighbor. Her dog is not barking at, it's not parking, we go barking at the neighbor. So now you can make some negative sentences. She is not washing the windows. They are not moving the house. They are not washing the car. And they are not building the house. They are not moving house. And they are not fighting. Okay, matching the pictures to the sentences. I'm not writing an email. You are not, you're not having dinner now. It's snowing today. So we're talking about using contractions with positive sentences. So without a contraction, we would say he is running. With a contraction, he's running. We usually use a contraction in spoken English. We can also use a contraction in written English, but it's usually when we want to be a little bit more informal that we would use the contracted form in writing. So the spoken form would be she's working. And with written, we could use either it's raining or it is raining. He's sitting in a chair or he is sitting in a chair. All right, so I am working or I'm working. You are reading or you're reading. He is painting or he's painting. She is watching or she's watching. It is raining or it's raining. We are talking or we're talking. And they are driving or they're driving. Now, with negative sentences, we can also make those with or without a contraction. So here's an example without a contraction. Sally is not studying. So the more common way would be to say Sally isn't studying, but if you want to emphasize the negative, you could say Sally's not studying. So two ways to form the contraction. Just depends on whether you want to put the stress on the negative or on the main verb. So I am not singing or I'm not singing. You are not reading or you aren't reading. He is not painting or he isn't painting. She is not watching or she isn't watching. It is not snowing or it isn't snowing. We are not coming or we aren't coming. And they are not leaving or they aren't leaving. Now, there's no contraction for am not or I'm not. So you can't say I amn't sleeping. Amn't is not a proper word. So you would just either have to say I am not sleeping or I'm not sleeping. For the other forms, however, there are again two different ways to form the negative. Either you aren't sleeping or you're not sleeping. He isn't sleeping or he's not sleeping. Okay, and if the subject is a noun, you need to be a little bit careful. So here, if the verb is, we would have Tony's not eating his dessert. Tony's eating his dessert. The bird's not singing. The bird's singing. Anna's not watching TV. Anna's watching TV. With R, it would be Anna and I aren't going to the cinema. So here we base the contraction on I, which is going to be closest to it. So we wouldn't say Anna and Ire to try to make the contraction like you would for we're. Peter and Meredith aren't speaking to each other. Again, we treat Peter and Meredith as a they, and so that would be why we would use aren't, like they aren't speaking to each other. So we can't really make a contraction out of Meredith's name, however. All right, so now I want you to make these positive sentences negative, and you can use contractions and either type of contraction that you want if it's possible. So he's going to the store. He isn't going to the store. He's not going to the store. So go ahead and try the rest on your own. and then restart the video when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, it's snowing in London today. Could be it's not snowing in London today, or it isn't snowing in London today. She's listening to the radio, so it would be she's not listening to the radio, or she isn't listening to the radio. He's staying at the hotel this evening, so he's not staying at a hotel this evening, or he isn't staying at a hotel this evening. Same thing here. Make the positive sentences negative. I'm driving a new car. I'm not driving a new car. Tony and Jane are flying to Spain. So Tony and Jane aren't flying to Spain. You and I are writing an essay. You and I aren't writing an essay. Peter, William, and Andrew are learning Japanese. Peter, William, and Andrew aren't learning Japanese. Alright, so now you're going to make negative sentences with using a contraction and one of the verbs from the box. So the first one is done for you. It's not raining in Paris this afternoon. It's sunny there. So again, complete the rest of them on your own. Pause the video and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So here, no, I'm not cutting my hair. I am shaving. Children, you're not or you aren't listening to me. So he's not, or we could say he isn't swimming in the pool. He's at the gym. He isn't drinking coffee, or he's not drinking coffee with sugar. He doesn't like sugar. Whoops, left out my K there. She isn't going to the shop, or she's, oops, not going to the shop because she doesn't have any time. He isn't playing football, or he's not playing football this year. He got bored of it. And I'm not watching the TV. You can change the channel if you want. Right, now make some negative sentences and use contractions. Again, you can try this on your own and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So he's skiing. He's not skiing. Or he isn't. Or sorry, he's not swimming. Or he isn't swimming. She's talking to her friends. She's not singing. Or she isn't singing. And it's snowing. It's not raining. Or it isn't raining. Right, now make some negative sentences using a contraction. Sarah coming, or sorry, negative. Sarah isn't coming by taxi, or we could say Sarah's not coming by taxi. Peter's not flying to New York, or Peter isn't flying to New York. Oliver and Jenny aren't doing their homework. We aren't eating pasta, or we're not eating pasta for dinner tonight. Okay, again, you're going to put these words into the right order to make a sentence and use contractions. So the first one is done for you. Not Paul read that book. So Paul isn't reading that book. So we not to the concert tonight go. So we're not going to the concert tonight. Or we aren't going to the concert tonight. Have dinner they with their friends. So they're not having dinner. Or they aren't having dinner. Stay John and Lindsay at that hotel. So John and Lindsay aren't staying at that hotel. Today work I at the office. So I'm not working at the office today. And you write to your mother a letter. So you're not writing a letter to your mother, or you aren't writing a letter to your mother. Right, now you'll make either a positive or negative sentence using the words in the boxes in the present continuous. So it isn't sunny It's sunny today. It isn't raining. Or it's not raining. Both are correct. I'm not talking with her. We had a fight last week. She's not listening to the radio. She's watching TV. So now again, make some negative sentences. It's not raining, or it isn't raining. He isn't playing football. They aren't eating, or they're not eating. She isn't waiting, or she's not waiting. He isn't looking at the newspaper, or he's not looking at the newspaper. He is not swimming, or he isn't swimming. Um, he he's not writing, or he isn't writing. And they are not sitting, or they aren't sitting. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And please like, subscribe, share, and if you have any questions, leave those for me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.